Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's live stream, I'm going to be playing what you guys, as always, request. I'm going to be signing into my press account, though, because there's been a lot of cringers recently. Somebody told me that Peter KW was trying to do his 3-mark stream, I think it was today, and there was somebody that was purposely stream sniping and getting into his games for like 30 minutes. It's pretty sad, the way some of these players are in the Blitz community, to be totally honest. Doesn't matter that much to me, because when I stream, I play on my press account now, and when I'm not playing on my press account, I'm marking my tanks, but it doesn't really matter too much to me. So, with that being said, let's play some games. What do you guys want to see? Object 260. You know what? I don't really like the 260, but I will play it because I have a feeling if I don't like the 260, then a lot of other players also probably don't like it. The thing I don't like about the 260 is that the armor feels rather useless. It does have armor, but only on flat ground, and the problem is the turret's pretty mid. Its mobility's good, but it's not great. It's just like, I don't know. I think it's a worse 113. That's how I look at the Object 260. Vote Angry Connor. Ain't no way. Not the Angry Gooner, bro. If you value your life, don't come to the Bay. Don't know what that means. And I don't actually know what that means. What, the Bay Harbor Butcher? The Bay Harbor Butcher. Wunishdenabda. I guess I'm going town. Object 148 getting the love it should be. It actually is a surprisingly high gun mark, but my assumption is because most players don't drive it apart from the very, very few skilled players. Ooh, nice. Play with the E4. E4 is not a bad shout. Let's see. We got the concepts, which I physically won't be able to do anything to. Let's see if I can cross this. I hate going town on this map. I seriously do. I feel like the IS-8 is better than the 260. I agree. I do consider the IS-8 kind of to be better. The problem with this tank is that you sacrifice so much. Oh, okay. 183 just domes me right on the turret weak point. Oh. Alright, well my game's over. Because apparently they just have a 263 there. Okay. Well, that was very fun. Not sure why they just have a random 263 sitting in their spawn. Okay. Oh no, guys. If I come to the Bay Area, I'll become a campfire story. Is that a Void player? I guarantee it is. I've been going up against a lot of Void players recently, and a couple of them have been living absolutely rent-free. So, it would not surprise me at all. I don't really care, dude. I don't care about your threats. I find it funny that you've got these people that are so butthurt about me playing a video game that they have to make, like, these fake threats against me like I care. Well, we are going to die! We're gonna live! We're gonna live! Boom! Okay, well, I didn't get the kill, but we're still alive. That is absolutely shocking, to be totally honest. That is absolutely shocking. Alright, well... Oh, concept moves! Bonk! Nice. Not a bad shot at all. What did I miss? Apparently me getting, focused by a lot of players. Hello, digital artist. You changed the title because of how bad the teams are? I don't know what you mean by that. It's the same title as always. I just wanted to make a different title so that different people would click on the stream. But it is still a Pick My Tank stream. I actually did okay. 3,500 damage. I mean, the 260 didn't do much, but it did its job. Hello, Elena. We have the enemy 183. Honestly, if that 183 didn't shoot me, I would have been totally fine throughout most of this game. The bat shot's going to do whatever the heck the bat shot's going to do. And this 183 would rather deal 0 damage than... Oh. Ah, dang, we were so close. So close. Very, very close to getting that final shell out. I mean, it doesn't matter. We won. I'm on a press account, so it's not like the stats really... They don't make a difference. But not a bad game at all. Not a bad game at all. 3,530 damage. Sweet. Yeah, I personally like the, I like the 260 sometimes. Like, every now and then when I drive it, the gun feels solid. But other times it doesn't. I'm trolling. I mean, no Void player. Well, that's good at least. No, I don't even care about the threat. It's just that good that you're not a Void player, because it's pretty tragic. You know, personally, I don't try to cause beef with anyone. I'm just not that kind of person. If somebody tries to cause beef with me, then I'm not going to, like, back down. But at the same time, I'm not the kind of person that just goes out of my way to have an issue with somebody else. You know, that's just how I am. But it's been pretty tragic seeing certain clan members, one specific clan, be so absolutely tragic. I had a Void player in my game earlier today. It'll be in my video, because I 3-marked the Badger. By the way, that was an incredibly unenjoyable experience. But I 3-marked the Badger, and one of the teams that I got, I went up against a Void player who tried YOLOing me. I ended up perma-tracking him in his super conk, killing him and getting like a 6,500 damage win. So, it was pretty fun. Have you played the buffed IS3? You know what? I have not played it. I was wanting to play it, and then I just kind of forgot. Also, my PC's running a little bit poor today. Not exactly sure why. My assumption is because I haven't restarted it in a while. The last time I restarted my PC was about a week ago. So, I'm going to, I'll buy this camo, why not? But I'm going to, restart my PC tonight, so it should solve a lot of the problems. The issue is I had that 2-hour video that I uploaded today talking about all my issues with Blitz, and in that video I had it in my Premiere. I didn't want to close my Premiere and then have to load all the files up and everything, so I just said screw it. I'll just leave my computer on while I work on the video. Looks properly equipped. What did you guys think about that video? Did any of you watch the full video that I posted already on the problems I have with Blitz? I probably missed some of the complaints I have with the game, but I talked about the vast majority of them. I got Mac and Mo from Straight Ban the other day. What'd they do? I mean, I had, in one of the games I played, a Void. So I had a Void player on my team, and then 2 Void players on the enemy team. And my team was winning. I was in the Badger, I think. Maybe I was in the E3. I think I was in the E3. But either way, I was in one of those 2 tank destroyers. And on the enemy team, as I said, there were Void players. And what ended up happening was one of the players on my team that was in Void purposefully didn't shoot the enemy Void player so that they could try and clip me and kill me because they knew who I was. And it was literally blatant rigging. Like, it was complete blatant rigging. I will be reporting it to Wargaming. Like, anytime I see people that purposefully... Am I running the stock gun on this tank, guys? I'm running the stock gun. I'm running the stock gun. I just realized that. This is... It looked like the stock gun to me. I'm pretty sure this is the stock gun on the IS-3. Pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this is the stock gun. I mean, look at how bad the pen is, bruh. It's terrible. This has got to be the stock gun. Okay. Possible to play heavies on Castilla? Agreed. It is actually impossible to play heavies on Castilla. As I said, I was 3-marking the Badger. And, you know, the Badger experience was one of the worst experiences I've had in a while. Because I was, well, first of all, every single tank in Tier 10 nowadays... Yeah, no, this is the stock gun, 100%. But every single tank that's played nowadays in Tier 10 is haul down. That's what Wargaming's done. It's Concept 1B, it's Cron, it's that kind of bogus crap. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Some of you probably contribute to the problem. But basically, all the games I've been playing, I've been going up against Krons, I've been going up against VZ55s, and all of these cringe haul-down heavy tanks. And what's been happening is you're in your Badger, and you try to poke these heavies, and you just get crapped on, because you don't have armor when you've got these gold spamming haul down tanks that you can't pen in return. Most of them have clips, you know, the Kron, the VZ, the Concept. All of them are clippers. All of them are incredibly cringe to deal with. It's very lame. Hello, Sin. Yeah, Sin was watching the Badger games, and literally every single game was the same tanks. It was just these haul down heavies. I couldn't do anything against them. And it was really frustrating. I think I counted 15 games in a row where not a single super heavy was against me. Not a single one. Not a Mouse, not a VK90, E100, VK72, Type 71. Not a single German super heavy was placed against me. And I was really frustrated. I don't even know if it was the Badger that was the problem. I think it was just the teams, but it was really unenjoyable. In the end, I think I averaged about 3,500 in the Badger with 75%, which is pretty good in terms of both stats. Like, if you're a 4K player, you're not going to go 4K in a Badger. It's just not how it works, because the Badger is not a 4K-able tank. It's too slow, it's too team dependent. But it was not enjoyable. That's what I'll say. It was not enjoyable at all. The IS-3 felt fine in this game, but obviously if I was running the Top Gun, it would have felt a lot better. I find it more funny that I'm using the stock gun and I'm still going like 3K. I'm going to try and get to the side of the M6. Here we go. And then... bonk. Gotta love tungsten. Canal is garbage. Agreed. And it was one of the maps that I absolutely hated playing in the Badger on. When I got Canal in the Badger, I was too slow to go to the medium side, so I just felt useless every game. Is it possible to change regions? No, it is not possible as of now. Why do you say Type 71 instead of Type 5? I meant the Type 71 and not the Type 5. Do you know how little people have the Type 5 heavy? In the average Blitz session, I fight 0 Type 5 heavies. 0. In fact, today, in my Badger, I played over 30 games, did not fight a single Type 5 heavy. So it's just not a tank that I fight. So I'm not sure where the thought process of, you know, I don't expect to fight Type 5 heavies. That's just as simple as it is. But the E100 is like the 3rd or 4th most played tank in Tier 10. It's the most popular heavy. So it makes no sense that the E100 was a tank that I did not fight at all. Like, the Badger is great when it comes to farming super heavies and vehicles that are easily punished because of, you know, because of their long reload and their poor DPM. And sure, the E100 has good DPM, but it doesn't have the penetration to deal with a Badger if it's running the 12.8. It's very frustrating. When every game I played, I was up against a Super Conk, a Type, or not a Type, a VZ, a Kron. You know, it was just really cringe. And that's what the current meta is in Blitz. Also, thank you for the donation, Wallet. Appreciated. Let's try the Badger. Let's see how it goes on my press account. Let's see how it goes. The skin for the Badger is absolutely epic. And personally, the loadout that I like to use is fuel, food, and 1 sandbag. I run extra HP. I'm running improved modules, increased traverse speed, and this actually here is the proper loadout. But the issue with the Badger is the fact that its traverse speed is terrible. The E3, I told Arch this, nice to see you on the stream, Arch, but the E3, for example, did not have an issue with its traverse speed because Wargaming buffed it. It's close to 30 degrees a second now, which is quite nice, especially if you're running improved control. But with the Badger, you have 24 degrees of traverse at max. That's with improved control. And that is terrible. That means it's going to take you close to 9 or 8 seconds to fully traverse the vehicle a 180. And 9 seconds when there's a medium on your rear is absolutely unusable. It's unusable. So that's the problem I have with the Badger. That's the problem I have with the Badger. It was not enjoyable at all in that regard. Let me join VC so Sin can hear me. Hello, Sin.
Hello, Goofy.
Sin City was it?
Sin said he was a mute. Oh.
I'm speed! Yeah, the other problem, guys, with the Badger is just the actual awful mobility it features. But I think the major issue is that what Wargaming's done is every tank's either an autoloader or it has impenetrable levels of turret armor. And there's no in-between. And the tanks that are in between aren't played. Like the E5, for example, sure, it has impenetrable turret armor, but a Badger can cut through the cheeks with heat. The problem is, no, how many E5s did I go up against, Sin? Honestly, you watch the games. 0. I don't think I fought a single one.
I think you felt like 2, but they weren't even paying attention, or they're just about to die anyway.
What I went up against was Krons, Concepts, and a couple VZs. That was about every single game I played. It was a Kron, a Concept, or a VZ. It was nothing different. Every single battle was that exact tank lineup.
Yeah,
And guys, we can already see I'm screwed here because if you take a look, I have no support behind me. I got a 140 on my flank. My heavies are dead already. So I'm screwed. My Felice's already dead. And there you go. Now I got a 140 on my flank. And this is the problem with the Badger. You're so team reliant because you're in a lightly armored TD. And when your team sucks, you're the one that gets screwed. You have 12 reverse. So this here, like, I'm already done. Look, I got nobody supporting me. Now I've got the BZ-75 on my flank, while dealing with the 5A YOLOing me, while dealing with the 140 pushing me, and this is it. This is the problem with the current meta of these slow, heavily armored TDs, is that, what did I do wrong? There was no misplay on my part. I have an E100 who backs off, my Felice's dead, and my E5, Francisco, decided to flank. So what ends up happening is you have team support, right? We had an E100, we had a Felice, and we had a Kron. I had 3 heavies, 2 of which are considered super heavies. They die, and I get flanked because I decided to drive my slow, heavily armored TD towards the heavy flank. Because the Badger only reverses at 12, you can't get out of a position once you've put yourself in it. Because it has terrible traverse speed, you cannot deal with a tank flanking you. You can't. I was playing against a 113, and Sin remembers this. I was against a 113 on Naval Frontier, and it outmaneuvered me. I could not turn faster than a 113 driving around me in a circle. The only reason it died was because it drove into a rock.
Yeah, you were super happy about that.
Yeah. Like, I did 2,400, which, if we take a look at the team, is probably top. It was. What a shocker. It was top in the team by 1,000. But it doesn't matter. The problem with the Badger is the issue of the fact it just gets overwhelmed so quickly. The E3 did not actually have that problem because the E3 could turn and it still had super speed boost. But the E3 did have the same problem when its super speed boost was gone, that again, you could not get out of position. Is that wallet?
Yes,
I'm just here to say that Sin smells like poopy balls.
Aren't you at work?
No G-Saw?
What?
No
I have the
G-Saw?
G-Saw.
No G-Saw?
I have the G-Saw.
Well, he has Gray's account, so technically he does have the G-Saw.
Yeah, technically I do have the G-Saw.
Ray has the G-Saw, you just beg him for it.
Well, that is his account now.
Well, it's my account now. It's mine. Yeah. So like a lot of tanks that you don't even have, I have like 2 of.
Did you just wake up?
Yeah, I did just wake up actually.
I was gonna say, you sound like you just woke up. Even if you weren't overwhelmed, you'd still lose, so it makes no difference. What? Losing has nothing to do with the experience of the Badger. I just always love when there's people that like try telling me how I should make my own opinions. Brother, I'm ranked number 3 in the NA server for average damage right now. My 30-day is 3,800. That's more than Fatness had when he was peak at this game. Like, I'm not saying anything about Fatness. I'm trying to point out that, like, if there's anybody that would know the issues with the tank, it would be me. Yes, that game was obviously going to be lost, whether or not I was in a Badger. But the difference is that if I was in any other tier 10 that had a turret and a heavy, I would have had more health, I would have had better reverse speed, and the flexibility to back out of that situation. The fact that a 5A can just YOLO to my side and completely counter me, that's the problem with the Badger. It's the fact that the tank is so easily countered by just one tank with a turret. Or an autoloader, that too.
I'm pretty sure you also had like 3.9k average before you played the Badger too.
Yeah, I had 4K average before I played the Badger. Before I played the Badger and E3, my 30-day was over 4K. The E3 and Badger single-handedly brought it down below 3,800 now. Wow, guys, that was really fun. I love how skilled these players are, that they can just all apparently hit their shots without even aiming. Okay. Oh well. I'm in a KV Junior. I'm not expecting anything special. I'm going to be YOLO'd, probably? Maybe not. I'm going to pretend like I have a shot. 263 is underrated. Oh, great. And now we got the AMX just YOLOing me. Yay. Yes, we love autoloaders, guys. They're good for the game. Well, oh well. The KV Junior is a very bad tank. It's fun, but when you have a full health 50B flanking the enemy instead of actually doing his role, I don't know. I don't even know what happened in this game, to be honest. The teams on the NA server have legit been the least enjoyable in a very long time. I don't know what happened. They just started becoming terrible in, like, the past couple days. Like, the E3, I did about 3,500 average in the E3. But the thing that was really weird about it was that it wasn't even the E3 that was at fault. Literally half the games I was playing in the E3, I was full speed driving towards the enemy, and it would just be a steamroll. Like, my team would win so fast, or my team would lose so fast, and I couldn't do anything about it. And it's the same thing with that Badger game that you just saw on Naval, or not Naval, Yukon, is that your team just falls apart in like half a second, and then you're just sitting there like, what am I supposed to do? And the problem is, I think the reason why these turretless tank destroyers struggle so much in the current meta is because they don't make an impact on the early game. Like, in an E3 or a Badger, you are not fast enough to get to an early game aggressive position. When I'm driving the 2-on-5B, I can drive it very quickly and super aggressively into a frontline spot. And because of that, it stops the enemy from making aggressions. In the Badger, because I'm so slow, and because I don't have a turret, and I don't have that flexibility to get into that front line, it allows the enemy to get away with stupid plays, killing my teammates faster. And that's what I think really caused a lot of the gameplay to be really unenjoyable, is that because I wasn't there stopping my team from getting farmed, or stopping the enemy from getting away with stupid plays, the teams would just fall apart immediately. And that's the issue with these slow tanks. It's the same problem with the Tortoise. It's the same problem with any vehicle that doesn't get up to speed, is that you are basically relying on your team to not die while you're getting into position.
If you're not there to mother your team, you just die.
That's why the 2-on-5 being the 1-2-1 did so well, because I had the mobility to just immediately get into the front line and start farming. The Badger, you just couldn't do it. Every time you try getting into the front line, there'd just be a haul down concept 1B or a cron. And if I tried countering the cron, like I remember one game on Dead Rail, I was, I'll do one more game in the KV Junior, but I remember one game on Dead Rail. Yeah, I was up against a cron on Dead Rail, and the cron made bad plays, and I penned him every single time he poked in the turret. But I made a slight aggression on Dead Rail Hill. They had one tank destroyer who was already spotted not looking at me on the other side of the map. So I was like, oh, I can poke the hill and I can start farming out this cron who bounced his shells on me. Well, what actually happened was the enemy had a spawn camping Karo in the TD push who managed to pen 3 shots on my lower plate across the map. And there you go. That's 1,050 of my health gone. And now my game's useless because I'm in a TD and I only have 2,000 health to begin with. So half of my game's gone. Now the cron can literally just drive over the ridge and clip me. And he tried to do it. Thankfully, I was able to angle my Badger properly and get 2 bounces from AP. But if that cron had half a brain cell and just loaded gold shells, it would have full health killed me. And that's the problem. You're in this TD that's so team reliant, and if you don't have teammates that are distracting or helping you with the fight, you just die. It's a really, really, really unfortunate circumstance. But I don't know. I asked Dizzy earlier today, who's in the stream chat right now, how many tanks E3 marks, and he said 50. And I said, have you done the E3 or Badger yet? And he said no. I'm like, yeah, well, you're gonna dislike it. That's all I can say. You're not going to enjoy the experience. Okay, we back up and we reload. Reloading. I 3-marked the SU-122-54. I don't know how challenging of a tank that would be to 3-mark, but congrats. I think I've done 40 tier 10s now, something close to that. It sucks that you can't 3-mark the G-Sword the tank. It actually pisses me off. I spent $500 on a tank, and you're telling me I can't 3-mark it? Like, really? Ooh, that was a really nasty 4 damage I took off that guy.
Should I 3-mark it on the EU?
Indeed.
Wow.
HE! Oh! Well, that made up for my 4 damage shot. But yeah, the E3 was definitely more enjoyable than the Badger. I won more in the Badger. My E3 was 58% win rate. It was actually horrendous. Because again, you don't make an impact in that vehicle. You are so team reliant in those tanks that the moment your team falls apart, you fall apart. But the Badger actually had the scare factor that the E3 didn't. Because the Badger has the DPM to punish people for making bad plays. The E3 doesn't. The E3 has the ability to hit hard, but then you're sitting there for 15 seconds without a shell. And that's pretty useless. But yeah, the Badger didn't have that problem. The gun on the Badger, it trolled me occasionally, but in general, it was fine. In general, it was fine. The problem with the Badger was that the armor didn't work unless I was perfectly hull down, or I wasn't up against super high pen tanks. And the other problem with the Badger was the fact that its traverse speed is actually so horrendous. It is so horrendous. Bad traverse speed on a TD is really the worst combination you can possibly get. Yes, thank you, T30. Yeah, this is a better game for the KV Junior. I actually don't mind the KV Junior. It's a meme, but it still has 2,200 health and a gun that hits for 630 or 640. So it doesn't really matter too much when you still hit super hard. You can definitely get out some big old claps into the enemy. Oh, that was just a terrible shot. I mean, the game's a loss again. These teams are just completely unbearable, dude. I'm already at 3k, and it's just over. I don't even understand how it's possible, how I can deal 3,000 damage in a tier 9, and my team's still so bad that it's a loss already. Like, that's pretty crazy when you think about it. Dang, couldn't even get the reload out. But, yeah, we have an AFK Ratatouille in the 260. Oh well, this is why, as I told you guys, I'm playing on my press account. I don't know what happened, but the teams are legitimately so bad. They're so bad. And if you're not in a tank that's overpowered, it just feels awful. It really does feel awful. Yeah, look at that Kevin guy. He's just crying in chat. Droodles whine so much. Proceeds to whine in chat. Have you looked in the mirror?
Yeah, someone's putting a gun up my head and forcing me to watch Droodles stream. Oh.
No, that's how they always are.
Leave the stream.
Not they, it's just that guy. Kevin always cries, though. Every time I stream, he cries.
Oh, I know.
It's pretty impressive.
He can just leave the stream if he doesn't like it.
Just ignore him. Those kinds of people just want attention. So the best way to give them attention is by not giving it to them at all. Kevin can sit there and yap all day about whatever he wants, and I'm going to continue not giving a shit because there are 130 people who are watching the stream that aren't Kevin. So nobody gives a shit about him. Ooh, play in the object. Let me do the Death Star first. But yeah, this is the major reason why, guys, I play on my my press account every time I stream. Because when I'm streaming, or when I'm playing Blitz, I get really mad on my main account if my team suck. I do, because it's something out of my control. And I get really mad when I get placed into a situation that sucks because it's something out of my control. On my press account, I don't care. It's not my stats, it's not my account. Just here to have some fun, play the tanks, and yap to you guys. But it's just really, really unenjoyable. Yo, do you think Ahmed wants me to play the VZ55? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Do you know when auctions will come back? All right, this might sound
20th.
crazy, but it's almost like Wargaming literally told us the exact date in their video. You monkey. But yes, the 20th is when they're coming back.
Ready for another numbered camo over the
I'd like to know when the AE Phase 1's coming out. AE Phase 1 incoming! Uh-huh. Yeah, Wargaming? Incoming within the next couple years! That's pretty funny.
I still like how they couldn't wait for a 1 month before getting the auctions back because it made them so much money.
Well, they didn't make a lot of money on the golden tickets, which really makes me happy. I'm so happy that Wargaming failed miserably. That's why I bet the AE Phase 1 didn't get released. My guess is they were originally planning to do it for tickets, and then they said, oh, we can't release it now because nobody's buying golden tickets. So they're probably going to put it in the second stage of the auctions, if they do, and it'll be for gold. But I just find it personally hilarious that okay, guess I'll just bounce the flat hull of that tank. But I find it absolutely hilarious how Wargaming tried to make gold a useless currency by forcing us to buy golden tickets to get the ELC, and then nobody bought it.
People bought it across
Yeah,
all
900.
three
Yeah,
servers.
across all servers, a brand new
Yeah.
tank, only 900 people bought. Good job, Wargaming. Way to show how dead your game is right now. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, if they're gonna do that, at least, like, make the tank a tier someone gives a shit about, not tier 8.
It's not, the
I like
tier
the
isn't
tank.
the problem.
Yeah.
I like the tank. It's just they shouldn't have. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy they made gold tickets. I got a brand new tier 8 for $30. That's unheard of.
$30. Great deal.
That's a good trade, AMX. Oh, what's that? Oh, I'm an autoloader too? Yeah, cry about it, bozo. God. It's just always funny. Like, you get these players who just sit there and stare at you like, oh, I'm gonna clip you. Yeah, well, you lost 1,000 health for that clip. Boop. The Death Star is a completely OP tank.
I'm ripping apart a stock KB Junior right now. I almost feel bad.
When do you go to work today?
Oh.
When do you work today?
I'll leave here in like half an hour.
Okay. My guess to why Wargaming did not sell the ELCs is because nobody wanted to buy golden tickets. That's my guess.
Where are you buying
Because
golden tickets for?
What's the tank? The long haul camo sold for a ridiculous amount of gold. So it's not like people didn't have the money. It's the fact that Wargaming just had the Blitz Fair, where players spent thousands of dollars on a G-Sor the tank, and then they're telling these players after they're sitting on this useless amount of gold that, oh yeah, well, actually you're not allowed to use that gold because we're making a different currency so that you can use that currency on the new releases. That's my guess to why nobody bought the ELC. If they had made that tank gold, it would have been actually probably pretty expensive, maybe 20k gold. But instead they decided to make it for golden tickets. So screw you, Wargaming. 100% deserved. You guys tried screwing over the players, and in return it screwed you over.
I mean, I'll take it though. $30.
I mean, if you do the math, $30, and they sold 900 of them. So they made in total $27,000 for that tank. Sure, it's a decent amount of money, but it's really not that much when you think about it. I mean,
Imagine how much the long haul camo made.
that's less than one employee's salary versus, you know, I don't know, even G-Sor the tank, they sold so few of them on NA that you can't even 3-mark it. So good job, Wargaming. You've really outdone yourself.
It probably costs more money to run the servers during that day of the auction than it did to, like...
Well,
probably
it's
that
not
time
costing
zone.
27 grand a day to run the servers, but
I mean, with how much money they want from us, might as well, but...
do you go for
If it
alpha
was
or DPM? I don't
Both.
yeah, both. Just drive an autoloader, then you can have both with no downsides. Why drive a YAG when you can drive a Concept 1B? You only deal 40 less damage. There's no other downside. Okay, I have to do the object, because Living donated for the object, so...
Tier 6 object.
I can do the 907, the 140. Let's do the 777. I don't ever play that thing. I think they would make more money if they guaranteed the tanks. Oh, 100%. If they had made it so that you opened up, I don't know, 50 music boxes or whatever, you know, if they'd made it so if you opened up enough... Oh, yeah. Yeah, if they'd made it so if you opened up enough music boxes, you got a guarantee, even 100 music boxes. If they'd made it so you open up X amount of music boxes and it gave you a guaranteed G-Sor the tank, it would have been fine. But instead what they did is they made it so you legitimately had to spend upwards of $500 to $1,000 to guarantee the tank. Hi, Wallet.
Oh, hi. If you're unlucky and you didn't pull any tanks outside the guaranteed ones, it would cost roughly $1,200 to get it guaranteed.
It's good for the game.
Gameplay.
The best part about G-Sor the tank is that because it's a completely overpowered vehicle, the comp players are trying to use it in comp. But because it costs so much money, most of the top 4 comp teams aren't driving the vehicle. There's a couple teams, like apparently 322 shilled out and bought 1 billion of them. But it's just funny to me that Wargaming released a tank that's completely overpowered and would dominate the comp team, but because people don't have it. This is probably one of the few times that Wargaming has actually made a complete pay-to-win tank. Because what it's going to do to the comp scene is pretty tragic. Because basically, if you have a comp team that has skilled... Like, pretend Origin has, like, 5 of them on their team. And then they're the only team that has a lot of these G-Sors. Basically, it's just, oh, well, you're already one of the best comp teams. And now you have one of the best tanks. And these other teams can't afford them. Especially if you're not a top 4 team. Or you don't have the ability to, like, get these tanks. Like, pretend you're a top 8 team. And you don't, you know, drop hundreds of dollars on the game. You're basically just knocked out of comp. It's pretty stupid. Okay, gun. G-Sor is not comp meta in my own opinion. I don't know, Dizzy. I've seen a lot of comp teams try to use it. I'm kind of back and forth. Also, apparently the stock turret on the Celino is stronger than the fully upgraded turret. What? I'm gonna have to look at that on Armored Spectre. But I had a much harder time cutting through the Celino's turret with it being a stock than fully upgraded. Okay, bruh. That Atlas is a literal ratless. Oh, that's what I should name it. The Ratless. That's perfect.
Bro, it's not fatness.
What? No, the Atlas. The tank.
No, because fatness used to, like, name tanks like Rat. He used to, like, say, like, the Minerato, the Rat 71, the Murats. He used to put rat in everything.
Yeah, well, you're a rat.
You're becoming fatness, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, you're gay.
And? You gonna stop me?
You like men.
And? You gonna stop me?
You're gay.
Only for you, homie.
Okay. Oh, you won't pen me. You won't pen me. You won't pen me. Yes. Just want to point out to you guys, pretend I was in a Badger in this game. I would have just died. The 60 TP would have been behind me. The Atlas would have been in front of me. The G-Sword would have been in front of me, and I would have just died. That would have been my game. But because I have a turret, and because I have more health, I just get away with being strong. There are at least 15 comp meta tanks. I mean, I already know what tanks are going to be used in the comp meta. Mostly, you're going to be seeing the Felice, if people bought it. You're going to be seeing the 116 F3 for some reason. Not really sure why, but yeah, the 116 F3. 215B. And G-Sword the tank. Those will be the main comp tanks that you're seeing used. Maybe the IS-4 occasionally, but I don't really see any other tanks that are going to be used in comp, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe 60 TP as well. 60 TP is really strong. But I don't see any world where there's really that many other comp tanks that are going to be used. How can I 3-mark TD when my team falls apart in 1 minute? I can't do damage because of steamroll. Well, I mean, as I keep telling players, 3-marking a tank is based off of your skill. Yes, obviously, if you have bad teams, they can affect your games. When I was, also thank you for the Błyskawica donation, but when I was 3-marking the E3 and Badger, I had very, very bad teams, but it still only took me 50 to 60 games to 3-mark both of those vehicles. So, yes, teams are bad. They are really bad, and driving a turretless tank destroyer right now feels awful. This might be the worst meta ever for a turretless slow TD. It's great if you want to drive a heavy. The average DPM of a tier 10 heavy is 2,700 right now. So, that's great, but turretless TDs, it's challenging, but you also have to remember that the Mark XP is a lot lower for a turretless tank destroyer. So while I do agree that it might be more challenging, at the same time, there's a reason why, because you have to be better than 95% of players. So if you're not marking the tank and you're playing an extended period of games, it's probably you more than it is the tank. While I did dislike my Badger experience, marking it itself was not that challenging. It really wasn't.
It was annoying, but it wasn't challenging.
Yeah. We marked the mouse in 40 games. The fastest mark was the 121 for me. I think it was 27 games I 3-marked that tank, because I averaged 4,500 damage. Absolutely wild vehicle. It's crazy to me that people do not understand how incredibly OP the 121 is, now that the thing features a 440 alpha. I don't know why Wargaming decided to give it 440, but it's pretty dumb. Why can't you mark G-Sor? Because not enough people own it.
We should give a 440 alpha medium tungsten so it can 3-tap most mediums.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Why drive a Badger when you can just drive a 121 and basically have the same reload?
And just 3-tap everything.
Yeah. And you're a medium, so you have mobility. You have crazy good aiming time and all these other values. That's the problem. Personally, I think that slow tank destroyers like the Badger, the E3, the Yag should have the same hit points as heavies. The Badger should have 2,400 health. And it should also have better traverse speed. It's supposed to be a heavy. And sure, maybe it would make it OP if it had that. But, is the Badger really that dangerous of a tank that, you can't deal with it if it has 2,400 health? In my opinion, no. It really isn't that scary of a tank. Gun hits hard, but I don't know. I don't really fear a Badger when I'm up against one. The E3 I do. The E3 is actually a real pain in the butt to deal with. But even then, when it's on reload, you just push it and the thing falls apart. So, I don't know. Cross. That E50 is pretty stupid for tunneling me when there's 18 tanks. Oh my god, yeah, the E3. Oh, great. Oh, okay. Well, I need to face hug the T30. I have no choice. There's one shot into my tank. Okay. Nobody ever bounces because they're all the best players in the game. Okay, nice. Waffle kills you. I'm going to aim it on your lower plate. 788. While the Błyskawica may be a very weak tank in certain regards, the gun still is incredibly dangerous. Apparently there isn't enough on NA and EU has a lot of them. I don't think EU has a lot of G-Sor the tanks. It's just that it's a larger server, so there's a larger sample size of players to buy it. I think that's about as simple as it is. Don't hit me. And of course he does. Oh well, I was really hoping I could get around that corner onto the bridge. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We did 3,300. I like the Błyskawica, but again, it has the same problem that the Badger does, and the same problem that the E3 does. It doesn't have health. You make a push, nothing bounces you. Sure, the armor's good, but everything pen me. 2 tier 9s. Go right through me. The Foch does not have good pen as a tier 9. In fact, it's one of the worst pen tier 9s in the game. T30 also has pretty mid pen, actually. It's very bad pen for a tank destroyer. It's only like 330 or 40 APCR. It's bad. But the problem with the Błyskawica is that the armor doesn't really work when you get frontline and you play aggressive. Type 5 Heavy, thank you for the donation. So, as I said, personally, I would like to see the ability to I mean, I've been saying this for years. I don't know why Wargaming can't just do the equipment the way PC does, where you have the ability to choose individual equipment that you can put on your tank. Then you don't have to balance tanks one way or another. Like on PC, the Jagdpanzer has like maybe 2,000 health base, but the thing is that you can then put on whatever it's called. I don't remember what the HP buff is, but there's an equipment that gives you extra health. And if you put it on, it gives you like 10 or 12% extra hit points. Why can't we get that in Blitz? Why can't we get the ability to choose our own equipment? That way, you can then customize your tank in your own meaningful way. Blitz used to have that. Back in the day, you had 3 equipment slots, and there was a couple different equipment you could choose from that you could equip. There was gun rammer, there was V-stabs, there was aiming device. They removed that, and they changed it to the spare parts system, which then everybody hated, so they changed that to credits, and that's where we are today. I don't know why they can't remove the current equipment system, refund the credits that we spent on them, and then give us a new equipment system in Reforged. That's what I would like to see. Bring back spare parts. All right, you know what, Arch? I'm sending that to Cora. You're getting banned, buddy. No.
Get out.
Improved assembly. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. But with improved assembly on PC, you can give a Yag like 2,500 health. Imagine a Yag with 2,500 health and Blitz. It would actually be good. It would, because then you'd be able to go up against heavies. But the problem is, you're in a Yag, and you shoot, let's say best case scenario, you shoot an E5 for 800, and the E5 shoots you back for 400, right? If you do the math, your Yag will have 1,600 health left, and the E5 will have, well, still about 1,600 health left. So you do the math there, and the E5 still comes out basically on top. So, actually, yeah, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. That's the problem. You can have the highest alpha tank in tier 10, and you'll still be at the same health as the average tier 10 heavy after you shoot it. So if you're in a Badger and you have 460 alpha, and you shoot a tank, and then it trades you back, even though you might have done a little bit more damage, an E5 will still have 2,100 health left, and you'll have 1,600 health left. And that's the problem, is that you don't have the health to trade with vehicles that have so much more health than you. It didn't used to be that way, because back in the day, tank destroyers used to have similar health to heavies. And what happened was Wargaming buffed the heavy tank hit points. Do you remember when heavy tanks used to have like 1,500 health in tier 8? And then they buffed them to 1,900. That was the big change.
The VK at tier 8 had like hella health when it came out in release.
Yeah, it did. I remember when the T-28 Defender came out, and it had the same health as the average heavy. And it was about 1,500, but that's not the case anymore. It's a bummer. Okay, there's 760. Got a bounce from the Yag. Kind of a weird spot to camp in a Yag, but alright. Okay, keep on going. Ah, there's the Yag. Yeah, like, what are we doing, bro? What is this play? Yeah, that was never gonna hit. Shell velocity on the standard shells is actually terrible on the Type 5. 225. That would be... The heck would be 225? What? Oh, a stock tortoise. Hello, Destiny. Say goodbye to 800 of your health. There you go. 755 gone. Yeah, my FPS is terrible. My FPS right now is like 90. I don't know why, but I will definitely restart my computer today because it is causing my FPS to be trash. There's the tortoise. There's 801. I do like the Type 5 a lot. I still consider the Type 5 to be pretty OP. It's kind of hard to counter a tank that can just chunk 800 health off of you. Now, teams suck, so that's not to say that every time you play in the Type 5 you're getting a good team, but the fact that I can just shoot a mouse's turret for 700 and then back up is kind of dumb. Mobility buff and tungsten would be good for the Yag. doesn't need a mobility buff, and tungsten's not a good way to balance a tank. Do you really want a vehicle rolling around that can deal 900 damage with one shot? That's just a bad decision.
You
That
already have
was
enough
never
of
gonna
those
hit.
tags already.
Yeah, the correct way to balance the YAG would be exactly what I said. Give it 2,500 health. Problem solved, bro. Why do we need to do all these dumbass changes? Why do we need to give tanks tungsten and reactive and all this bullshit when you could just give it more health? My game's ruined because this enemy YAG is just getting away with doing whatever the hell he wants. There's 774. I should have backed up instead of... I knew that the YAG was going to poke me, and I don't know, I just kept playing aggressive, but it's probably because I've been yapping.
I'm just making you throw your games right now.
I don't know about that, but...
Yeah, I am. I'm like distracting you for real.
There's the YAG, and that is the end of my game, because the YAG is probably... Oh, no, he missed my hatch. Nice. 650. I have to back up before the YAG shoots me. Thank you for the donation for the 183. Appreciate it. Wow, great team as always, guys. This is the problem with Super Heavies. It's not the fact that the Super Heavy itself is bad. It's that you are super duper team reliant. And, well, there's not a lot you can do when this is your team. I mean, I've done 5,000 damage, and it's going to be a loss. Yay. Come on, reload.
You can take the teammates out of 40%, but you can't take the 40% out of the teammates. I don't know. I tried to be, like, mysterious, and it kind of failed.
I could actually win this, which is kind of crazy.
Clutch or kick.
Problem is, they have a tortoise, and even though he's stock, he could still potentially kill me. Oh my god. I high rolled. Well, I have 20 health. I've done 6,500 damage. Oh, and there's the tortoise. And I won. 7,000 damage game in the Type 5 Heavy.
Nice.
Wallet's probably like...
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to say, Wallet. Frickin' 5,000 damage blocked, 4 killed, 7,000 damage. 1 versus like 4. I wouldn't even... if I was paying attention that game, and I had just backed up when the YAG first shot me, this would have been a super easy win as well. But I was too busy yapping about the game, and unfortunately bled more health than I should have. But, hey, we brought it back. We did bring it back. Type 5 is fairly balanced. Yeah. I'll love the B... I don't think the BZT-70 is actually going to be good. I think that the BZT-70 is going to be a free chunk of HP to farm. It's going to shoot, and then it's going to reverse at -2 with no armor and get absolutely farmed. That's going to be what I think it's going to be. I think this month Type 5 crates should come in. I mean, maybe. The only thing I want for the Type 5 is the legendary camo. But to be honest, if any mod makers are out there, can you just make a modded version of the camo for PC, whatever the heck it's called? Because, I mean, I don't know. I've modded a lot of other camos in this game already, so why can't we just have a modded Type 5 one?
If only there was trading, Droodles, I could give you one of my extra Type 5 camos.
Trading would be cool. Alright, got to play in the 183. Thank you for the donation. I always get really frustrated when I get carries like that and they're not on my main account. I mean, it's whatever. I can still make a video on it, which I'm going to. But,
Yo, homie,
yeah.
could you like screen share on the VC? I don't want to watch this.
No, because my FPS is terrible already. Something's like eating up my FPS on my computer. I don't know what it is, but something's eating it.
Does Taskmaster say anything?
No, it's just because I haven't restarted my PC in like a week.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That's
damn, okay.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, everything just starts to like eat up
Okay.
my everything.
That makes sense.
Do you guys think I should? I have two options. I can sell. I have 2 additional sticks of 46 gigs of memory, or maybe it's 48 gigs. I don't remember what it is, but I have 2 additional sticks. I could sell it for $1,000 because right now RAM is crazy expensive, or I could put those 2 sticks into my computer because I'm only running dual channel right now. I already have like 90 something gigs of RAM, but I could have 180. Watch, we're giving buff the BZT-70 in the next patch. If they do, I'm going to be really mad. That tank deserves to be a piece of trash. Like, it does not deserve to be good. It's a 183 heavy. It's a Caliban in tier 10. That's essentially what it is. And if it's trash, I'll be fine with it. Because then, you know, whenever you go up against one, it's just a free... I should have driven over the ridge. Could have hit him. But, yeah, if it's basically just like a useless Caliban, then it's just a bunch of HP to farm. Unfortunately, what that means is when there's one on your team, basically you might as well just consider it a 6 versus 7, but... Well, there you go. 183 is good for the game, guys. 870 health off the enemy 50M.
BZT-70 deserved that nerf, though. Glad that it got it.
Sell it for the trip. Actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I could sell the RAM for the trip.
Nerf buff. They nerfed the armor profile, but they gave it 8 degrees of gun.
Oh, guys, the 183 is good for the game. I have single-handedly stopped the entire enemy medium flank from doing anything. It's impressive that my mediums have gotten bled as much as they have, judging that I've literally single-handedly nuked the entire mediums. But what do I know? Hello there, BZ. Oh, bro just insta... Wow, okay. That BZ's just built different, I guess. Well, my game is over because, as always, my team falls apart, and I'm the one who gets screwed because of that. It's very hard to enjoy this game sometimes. Our mouse is capping the base, guys. They're capturing base B. Jose Merbina. A very skilled mouse player. I think it should buff shell velocity on BZT-70, increase reverse speed slightly. No. I think it should be a piece of trash. I think it should be just like the Caliban. We do not need a tank that is rolling around as a heavy with 2,500 health, the ability to deal 1,200 damage to a tank that's not paying attention. Because here's what's going to happen, Dizzy. It's going to come into the game, and if they do those buffs, you're going to go up against one, and it's going to ruin your battle, and then you're going to sit there and you're going to curse for about 15 minutes. That's what's going to happen. We already hate the 183. We don't need 2 183s. I think the tank should be an absolute utter pile of dog shit, just like the Caliban. That way, it's not a real threat. That's my take on it. I have a feeling it's going to be getting released here pretty soon. Some people are saying Chinese New Year. I think that's what Dizzy told me. I don't know when it's getting released.
There was a rumor that it might be coming out on the Chinese New Year.
Well, the only thing, I'm 100% confident that WZ-120 is getting released on the Chinese New Year. Because it has the new Lunar Year camo. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. I still did top on the team.
Gray said that there might be a tiered crate system for the...
Yeah, they did that last year. Last year they did... I don't think it'll be a tiered crate system. I think it'll be just like the Black Friday event. Remember last year they did that with the BZ-58 or whatever? When the BZ-58 got released, it was like tiered. You had to buy the tier whatever, and then the next tank, and then the next tank. Yeah, it's kind of dumb.
And that comes out, what, like mid to late February? I don't know.
Asen and Bilko said BZT is releasing next month. I mean, maybe it's coming out in the Black Friday event. I'll know when it's coming out sooner or later because I will have it on my press account. I'm going to do a giveaway for the video. Or I'm going to be doing a giveaway announcement soon for the BZT. So that's what I'll say. Alright, guys. I'm going to do 5 more games for today's stream. God, I don't really know what's causing my FPS to be so bad. It's terrible. Like, let me show you guys. Look at my mouse speed. Like, look at this. Oh, wait, never mind. Elgato is in the way. There. Look at my mouse speed, guys. Do you see that? Like, how It's literally like teleporting us across my screen. It's bad. All right, what's next? What's next? 60 TP? Sure, we can do the 60. 60 TP is such a broken tank.
Yet they're not using it in comp. It's not a comp tank.
They might start using it in comp. They better. If I don't see 60 TPs being used in comp, I'm gonna laugh, because there's no excuse now. The previous excuse to why the 60 couldn't be used is that reactive exists. No heavies have reactive anymore. None of them. None of them. So there's no excuse anymore. The 60 TP should be spammed.
The AMX M4?
The MX M4 does not have reactive.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
taken
shit.
away. Yeah, it
That's
doesn't have it
good.
anymore.
That's why I absolutely hated driving it when I was 3-marking it. Honestly, that tank should have kept reactive. It needed it. I'm gonna be totally real, it needed it. Because the gun sucks. The armor is absolutely useless unless you're aiming directly at the person hull down. Because the problem is the turret's so large that the moment there's like 2 enemies in front of you, one of them just gets to shoot the side of the turret. So, I don't know. The AMX M4 wasn't the worst experience ever, but it definitely felt weaker than it should.
You know, it would have been better if you were using V stabs.
Oh yeah, if I was running V-stabs, it would have been better. My bad.
Yep.
Oh, we got the enemy 704, and boom, 720 health. That's good for the game. I've already noticed a major problem though, and I'm going to do something about it, which is called potentially cross and get nuked. But I need to. I don't have a choice. Yeah, whatever. I bled a bit of health for it. I needed to make this crossing though, because the enemy team. Yeah, there you go. I just 2-tapped a 704, took 1,400 health off that player. That's good for the game. But nobody's on base A. Nobody on our team decided to go to base A, so I had to bleed some health to cross. And this is where, like, guys, this is where the Badger would suck. Because if I drove my Badger to the hill where I was just at, I just wouldn't be able to cross. I would have been too slow. I would have been stuck there. And then if I ended up getting flanked by the mediums, that would have been the end of my game. But that is exactly why these turretless slow TDs are so team reliant. Because if you put yourself in a position, you can't get out of that position once you've gone there. It sucks. It's just so OP though, like what you can get away with in the 60 TP. Like I can just drive over the ridge, 113 shoots me, I don't care. I can just shoot him for 600 and back up. It's stupid. Penning a hull down 60 TP is still one of the most cringe things to do in the game. Oh, okay. I hate shooting at Conways. Their armor profile makes no sense. On paper, you should be able to butter right through the Conway turret. But for some reason, in-game, when you shoot at the turret, it has like this magical force field around it that causes it to get like bounces. I'm going to let my 50 TP kill that guy. I have a Waffenträger, which I haven't seen all game, which means it could be... No, he did get nuked. I did see him. Yeah, there you go. Hello, Waffen. What is the worst tier 10 in your opinion? I mean, I'd still probably...
Often is bad, but
I don't know. The Badger experience I had was pretty terrible. I don't know what to say. The Badger might actually be the worst tier 10 of the game. I might be willing to say it. I don't know. I don't know what would be the worst tier 10. Because... I don't know. I don't know if my teams were just truly horrendous. And, because I was winning games in the Badger. So, no, the Badger's not bad. I was winning games fine. Now, the worst tier 10 is still the Waffen. There's not a single tank which is less reliable than the Waffen in terms of winning games. Like, that one time we played double Waffen on Oasis was legitimately the least enjoyable experience I've had ever. So, yeah, no, the Waffen still absolutely sucks. It takes the cake. The Badger, wasn't it called the Goodger? I don't know what to say. I'm going to play the Badger some more. Now that it's done with its 3-marking, I can try and just play it without having the tryhard. And I'll see how it goes. But the problem is the current meta is just so fast that these slow tanks can't deal with it. And at least like a Super Heavy has a turret. The Foch. Now the Foch is insane, Dizzy. Most people said the Foch is the worst TD. Nah. I averaged like 4,600 in the Foch when I 3-marked it. I mean, it went down. Now it's like 4K average, but still, like, the Foch is insane. The ability to just dump 1,300 damage into someone and back up is broken as hell. But we'll see. 114 SP2? Nah. I think that tank destroyers are always going to be the worst tanks in the game for winning, and the major reason why is because they don't have the health to, or the flexibility. That's the problem. They don't have the health or flexibility to do what other tanks can. Like, my grill I averaged over 4K in, but my win rate was terrible. The Foch is great because you have the mobility and the armor and the DPM. It's one of those few tanks that can kind of do a pseudo roll, but most tanks definitely not the best. Alright, we got the Murat. When was the Foch's autoloader gun that long? It's never been that long. It's a modded camo. Huh. Is this just going to be one of these games where I do, like, nothing? Problem is, they have the Murat, but what they don't have spotted yet is the 3 tank destroyers. So I can't really do anything when they have 3 TDs. What I can do is put on my... Okay. That sucked. Okay, he's just going to YOLO. Yep, there you go. There's one of the TDs. Exactly what I was talking about. There you go. The teammate we have in the Murat, or not the Murat, the Progetto, is doing pretty terrible. Yeah, I will say that, honestly, the Badger is one of the least enjoyable experiences I've ever had 3-marking a tank. Because anything that was mobile just completely countered you. Bat chats, oh my god. Bat chats actually made you want to die. They were so unenjoyable to go up against, because they could just clip you in like 2 seconds for all of your health. It was horrendous. Not as horrendous as that. That might be the worst rolling shot I've ever seen in my life right there, guys. 37 damage, non-penning HE on the Murat. That's pretty impressive. I mean, it's fine. I still killed him, but... that shell missed by an inch. It hit there and did 37 damage. Well. I'm not worried about the grill. I'm worried about the WZ. Yeah, grill? Is this what we're going to do? Go ahead. Yep, there you go. You bounced me, and, yep, there goes, half your tank. Oh, there's the 183. They're like little rats. They smell the cheese, so they just start rushing in. Ooh, I smell the French cheeses. Ooh, and the fine wines. Ugh, 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 ugh. Okay. Well, you bounced me anyway, and I have a second shot, so I roll around the corner. Goodbye. Yeah, I don't know, Dizzy. I think the Foch is quite good. The tracks, I do agree, are absolutely horrendous on it, but the gun on this tank is just completely OP. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do anything in this game, because my one shot missed. Okay. Guess I can't pen the upper plate of a 183. Alright, guys. 3 more games. How about the better Badger, the 263? I'll play the 263. And I do agree. I think the 263 is better than the Badger. Because of the one major advantage. The 263 has mobility. And not only that, but I would actually argue that the 263 also has better armor than the Badger. When you're using the 263 and you're hiding the lower plate, the upper superstructure is actually insane. It is insane. There are some weak points, but in general, the armor is just insane on the 263. Foch is not flexible. No, it is flexible. The Foch has reverse speed, and reverse speed is by far the most important value when it comes to flexibility, because reverse speed allows you to get out of something that you've put yourself in. It's the problem that both the Badger and E3 have. You put yourself in an aggressive spot, yes, the E3 has super speed boost. It doesn't matter, because that super speed boost doesn't mean shit when you're getting tracked, or you've already used it to get in the position, because the tank also has a terrible power to weight. The problem is, when you have these tanks that are super slow in reverse, you cannot get out of position. And that's what gets you killed. That is the problem. The 263 reverse is at 20. which means that if you put it in aggressive spots, it can get out of those aggressive spots without having to fully turn around. That's where you're fine. Isn't that... I'm pretty sure that's Sam I'm up against. Hello there, ED boy. Super speed boost just isn't nearly as good as it used to be. It got quite heavily nerfed. It gives you a 30% engine power boost now, which I guess is good, but oh, that was just a rock. It's good, but it's nothing great. But yeah, look at this reverse speed. I shoot, I can back into cover, and I'm totally fine. You cannot do that in the Badger. Okay. Aiming. The other thing about the 263, which I always find interesting, is a lot of people always say, like, the gun on the 263 is really bad. I don't agree with that. I actually think the 263 gun is surprisingly accurate. Yeah, look at that. Right into the hatch. Dang. It went where I aimed, but it didn't do what I wanted it to. Okay, that one was bad. That was a bad shot. I will fully agree. That was terrible. You screw up the HE on me, which means I am now going to have to back up. Aiming on the hatch. Yo, guys, we love the concept. It's good for the game. I mean, it's just another team that sucks and you can't do anything. Once again, you know, it doesn't matter how good your tank destroyer is. When your team sucks, you don't have the ability to do anything about it. But I am doing okay, at least. There you go. And you can see what I mean by the armor. Like, if I was in a Badger in this game, I would be penned right through the, superstructure by that, oh, great. Concept's still shooting me. Concept's good for the game. But yeah, 3,200 damage, another loss. Team sucks, falls apart. There's nothing you can do. Where's your team? Gone. Gone. Every game. But this is what I mean. Every time I drive these tank destroyers, your team just sucks and dies. I don't even get it. I really don't. I don't know what you're supposed to do. You know? 3,200, there's your team. 0 damage E50M. I had, yeah, it's just whatever, dude. It's not really possible to enjoy these games when these are the teams that you get. The 263 did fine, though. I like the 263. I think it's a really, really good tank. The problem with the Badger, there's two things that I'd like to see done to the Badger. More health. It has 2,200 health right now, sandbags. It needs 2,500. But the other thing that I would really like to see done to the Badger is better traverse speed. There's not a single TD that should be sitting at less than 30 degrees a second of traverse on medium terrain. Because you are sacrificing so much to not have a turret. And then also being told that, oh, well, you also have this terrible traverse, so anything that gets behind you is just going to kill you. It's really frustrating. I don't have a problem with mediums being able to get behind the Badger easily, but I have a problem with the Badger not being able to deal with even heavies or slightly mobile tanks. Sheridan or Murat? Let's do the Sheridan. Why not? We'll do one more game after this. Is the object cust coming into Blitz? I mean, you already know it's in testing, so I think that answer is pretty obvious. Murat is OP, but the Sheridan is a rat. The Sheridan's OP as well. It's OP. For the average player, the Sheridan's trash, because the average player is terrible at the game. But if you're decent at the game, the Sheridan's completely OP. So find a wall? Yeah, I hate to tell you, dude, but finding a wall doesn't mean shit when there's a light tank on your rear. I don't know, like, that's just such a dumb comment. Again, I am number 3 in the NA server right now for average damage, and you're sitting here trying to act like you know better than me on how to play this game. Newsflash, you don't. Does it sound egotistical? Sure. But it's true. Like, you as a player are probably going 50% win rate trying to act like you know more than somebody who legitimately averages over 3,800 in tier 10 this month. So, I find it funny how you're sitting here telling me like, oh, well, you should just find a wall. Yeah, dude. So you're telling me while I'm dealing with maybe 2 heavy tanks in front of me, and a light tank happens to get behind me, I should turn around and try and deal with that light tank while I also have the heavies in front of me? Yeah, that's a great idea. That's truly an amazing idea. Gee, I wish I thought about that. I should find a wall when there's a light tank that's 100 meters away shooting me in the rear that I should then, what, turn around for while I'm dealing with tanks in front of me? Brother, what are we talking about? What if there's, I don't know, 2 tanks that I'm dealing with? Is that a thought? The reason I always, I talk to people like this, guys, is because people need to, okay. People need to learn that they are not the best, and that they need to realize that, like, just stating something stupid doesn't mean it's right. That's like saying, you know, against the 183, oh, just don't poke. You know, just don't poke and you won't be shot by the 183. Yeah, bro. So what you're saying is that, what, you should just spawn camp every game? Like, that's the same equivalence of that, of the argument there. It's not really an argument. I just hate when people give, like, these useless comments where they're like, oh, well, you should just do this. Yeah, dude, then why aren't you doing it? Well, once again, a pretty easy game for the Sheridan. Already 3,500 damage because it's a Sheridan and it's a pretty brain-dead vehicle. I'll just load a gold shell. I did 4,000 damage. Should I research the TNH or the VZ? I really don't know what that means. Canada, you always type just the dumbest comments. I'm not reading your comments anymore. Okay. What is next? Last game, guys. Still think the 183 should be removed or become a collector. I think it should be removed, personally. They won't ever do it. And I understand why Wargaming won't remove it. But if they're not going to remove it from the game, it needs to be heavily nerfed. The 183 needs to have its camouflage taken away. It needs to have its mobility nerfed. And it needs to have its accuracy nerfed. Okay. Last game. Is the TVP still good? Sure, we'll do a game in the TVP and then we'll call it a day. But yeah, the problem with people in society nowadays is they make these terrible takes and they're never corrected on them. And that's what ends up happening. You get these people that grow up thinking that they're always in the right or they can never do wrong. And that's not what this channel's about. This channel is about teaching players how to get better. It's about talking about the problems of the game and the solutions to those problems. And when you have people that just say like, oh, well, just do this, when they're literally not even understanding how to play the tank, half the time they don't even have the tank. I remember a while ago when I used to say the 5A was like an incredible... I still think the 5A is a great tank. But I remember back in the day when I used to say the 5A was my favorite tank, there would be so many people that would try to argue that, like, it's not a good tank. And they wouldn't even own the vehicle. And they'd be like, oh, well, it's not good. I'm like, brother, I'm averaging 70% in this vehicle with over 3K average. What are you averaging in any of your tier 10s? And, you know, the thing is you get these people who aren't averaging anything close to my stats in the 5A telling me that it's not a good tank. Like, that argument doesn't make sense to me. How can you be averaging, like, 2,500 in tier 10 at best, and then tell somebody who's averaging, like, 3K plus, 70% plus, that they're bad and they don't understand how the tank plays? Like, to me, that is insane. And it just shows the level of stupidity that a lot of these players have. They think they're in the right, even though they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know how to play the game as good as you. And then they think that their opinion matters. But you are a sweat? I mean, it doesn't make a difference. If let's say, for example, I'm averaging really good stats in a tank that most people think suck. I don't know. How about the YAG, right? My YAG in the past 30 days is 77% win rate with 3,700 average damage. Technically, I could make the argument that the YAG is a really good tier 10 with those stats. What are you going to do? Say I'm wrong? Prove me wrong. I'm averaging 3,700 in the YAG. Like, that's the point of the argument. You can't argue with somebody that's actually performing well in a vehicle and you're not. Because then it's not the tank's fault, it's your fault. But people refuse to admit blame. They just blame the fact that, oh, well, you know, the tank is, it's not flexible. It's not this, it's not that. That's what ends up happening every time. People make excuses instead of learning how to play the game. What a fun battle there, guys. Oh well, I'll do one more game. That was pretty bad. It's not like it matters, but it's just the way it is.
Is Wallet still here?
He's probably getting ready for work.
Okay, I was gonna see if he got Helldivers already.
I don't think he has.
Oh, lame.
Yeah, I don't know. People just need to realize that, like, if you're not the best of the game, just don't make an opinion that's trying to act like it is. That's all I ever ask from people. I don't have a problem if somebody has an opinion on a tank. But I do have a problem when somebody who's not the best at the game starts telling me how my opinion's wrong on a vehicle because they don't like the tank. You guys don't, like... This is just the tip of the iceberg. Like, every time I was in VC the other day, and somebody started telling me that the Tortoise was the best tank in the game, and that I'm wrong for saying that the Tortoise is bad.
I genuinely think that was rage bait, to be honest.
No, it wasn't rage bait. You ran into him playing in the Tortoise. It wasn't rage bait.
He was terrible.
But, like, that's what I mean. Like, you get these... Like, this guy comes into my VC and starts telling me how, like, the Tortoise is the best tank ever. And listen, I don't think the Tortoise is a bad tank. It's a situational tank. That's team reliance. That's as simple as it is. And the thing is, you get people that are like, oh, well, I think this tank's this or this tank's that. And I'm like, bro, how can you say that? It's like when people say, like, oh, here goes Droodles again, calling another tank OP. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, the Felice is OP. G-Sword the tank is OP. We don't deserve to have tanks in the game that can deal 1760 clipping potential in 10 seconds. We also shouldn't have tanks in the game like the Murat that can deal 800 damage in 2.5 seconds. Like, it's not even 2.5, it's 2 seconds. It's stupid. Yay. I love the grill. I love that Wargaming made it so that you can get away with camping on Castilla with no... Oh, it wasn't a grill that shot me. What would hit me for, Oh, probably a waffle. Oh, there's another tank. Bruh. 2 bounces. That would be a spawn camping concept 1B. Truly amazing. But yeah, I don't know. That's the problem I've always had with the Blitz player base. It's not just the Blitz player base, it's every game's player base. You have these players who think they know what they're talking about when they're not good. It's the same thing with real life. You get people who make up these completely blanket statements like they know what they're talking about in real life, and they just don't. They just make these things up like they understand what they're talking about. For example, everybody thinks they're a medical professional. I mean, my dad's a literal doctor. He was voted one of the best doctors in New Jersey when we lived there. And there are still people who will try to argue with my dad, who is a doctor, that, like, RFK is doing good for American citizens. When RFK is literally screwing over the entire country with the policies and the changes that he's making to healthcare. But there are people that will sit there that do not have educations in medicine, that know nothing about medicine and how the medical field works at all, and then they try acting like they think it's good. It's the same thing with, like, actors giving political opinions when actors are not politicians, you know? It's just the same thing. Also, an amazing team again, guys. 7-0 steamroll. There's no point, like... I would rather argue about other things than these Blitz teams right now, because these Blitz teams are actually unplayable. They are completely unplayable today. The thing that I've always found crazy, though, is that... How am I the one that always gets the bad team? Like... Isn't it crazy, if you think about it, that every single time I play Blitz, I'm the one that's getting the losing team? It's not the enemy, it's me. How is it, like, every time I'm pressing the battle button, I'm the one getting the team that's literally garbage? Like, does that make any sense to you guys? Bruh. Like, what am I supposed to do here? I've got a grill on my ass. If I back up, I get shot by the grill. If I move up, I get shot by... Yeah, it's just... I don't know, bro. These games are just unplayable. 2,800 damage. My computer is literally dying. Oh my god, Sin.
Do you like the meme?
Y'all remember when a scientist said Tylenol caused autism?
Trump is
Yeah,
not
I
a
hate to break it to
scientist.
you. It has been this is what I mean. Like, you're stupid. That's as simple as it is. Because instead of searching and learning things, you just sit there and you act like, oh, Trump got his information from a scientist. First of all, scientists don't do information. It is studies, and it is a mass tested thing. It's like the COVID vaccine. You think one scientist created the COVID vaccine and then just said, okay, it's good to go? No. It was something that was tested on a large scale with thousands of people that we then got information from and then released into the public. The same thing with Tylenol. It has been factually proven that Tylenol does not cause autism. Factually proven. Even the study that was cited by Trump at the bottom said this is causation and it is not actually linked to autism, and we do not have proof. That is in the actual study that Trump quoted. Fact. You can search it yourself. It has been factually proven that Tylenol does not cause autism and that there is no link between the two. But the problem is instead of you searching this, you just listen to what garbage is fed to you by Fox News and you believe it. Don't know what to say. I mean, how hard is it to go to Google right now? How hard is it for me to go to Google? Does Tylenol cause autism? Let's see what ChatGPT says. Let's see. Actually, I'll ask ChatGPT. Here you go.
Just trust me, bro.
Right here.
That's it.
A recent research review found an association between Tylenol and autism, but most studies show no causal link. You can do all of the searching yourself. There is zero proven relationship between acetaminophen and autism. All large observational studies have said this. This is Yale. Yale, you know that college, Yale, the one that's like one of the best colleges in the world? There is no cause between the two. I just hate when there's people that live in my country who sit there and act like they're medical professionals, or they listen to what's being told without searching for themselves and figuring out what the actual answer is. I have no problem if people want to believe what they want to believe and they want to go off of what they form as an opinion. But if you're going to act like you're a doctor, if you're going to act like you're an expert at Blitz, you're not. And that's the problem. People make these opinions based off of their own information, which they don't fact check. That's as simple as it is. But, you know, my bad. My bad. My dad, who's a doctor, who went to 10 years of medical school and training and knows every single medicine here to Timbuktu, is wrong. And you, who heard Trump say that autism is caused by acetaminophen, is right. Correct, right? Yeah. Yeah, the same person who made an AI video saying med beds are coming in 2026. Yeah. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. If you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure to smash that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.